Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 9, Raja Vidya, Raja Gugya Yoga, King of Knowledge and King of Secrets. Recapitulation, verses 1 to 34. This chapter is really a wonderful chapter, like all the other chapters. In this chapter, Bhagavan explains who is Bhagavan, what am I, what is his relationship with this world, what type of people are there, what type of worships are there, what is the universal rule of life, what is Bhagavan's promise to his devotees. Can all the human beings reach his feet, or are there any exceptions? How to reach him? So, this is the purpose of this chapter. This chapter begins with Bhagavan Krishna's assurance. Hey Arjuna, I will teach you the greatest knowledge, both jnana and vijnana, that is, knowledge and practical experience. Like we have theory and practical. After knowing which, you will be removed from all the sorrows of life. Bhagavan Krishna in verse 2 describes this knowledge as Raja Vidya and Raja Gugyam, that is, King of Knowledge and King of Secrets, greatest purifier, direct knowledge, in tune with Dharma, easy to understand, and imperishable knowledge. Bhagavan says this is easy to understand, this knowledge. It is a kind of encouragement for all of us. In verse 3, Bhagavan says, if people do not have faith in this knowledge, they will fall into samsara, that is, cycle of birth and death. This is true for all knowledge. If you don't have faith, no knowledge will get into your mind. This is a universal rule. In verse 4, Bhagavan Krishna says, the entire world is pervaded by me in my unmanifested form. All beings exist in me, but I do not exist in them. We have seen the example of Krishna opening his mouth to Yashoda Mata. In verse 5, Bhagavan says the opposite. The beings do not exist in me. We saw Adi Shankara's explanation on Yoga Maheshwaram. That is, Adi Shankara says, it is anirvachaniyam, that cannot be explained. Yoga Maya cannot be explained. We also saw the explanation given by Kanchi Paramacharya. We saw an example that if you stand before the mirror, you see the reflection of your image. Can you say that the reflected image is within you? No. Similarly, Bhagavan says, the world does not exist in me. In verse 6, Bhagavan explained the relationship between him and the world. He said, like the mighty wind that exists in space, all the beings exist in me. It is a relationless relationship. In verse 7 and 8, Bhagavan explained the creation and dissolution of this world. In verse 9, Bhagavan said, the acts or karmas do not bind me. Like the sun, which is unaffected by whatever we do on earth. Whatever you do on earth, sun is not affected. Similarly, the acts, the karmas, do not bind Bhagavan Krishna. In verse 10, Bhagavan Krishna said, under my supervision, the Prakriti creates movable and immovables. Thus the world undergoes changes. Who is the supervisor? Who is the head? Why these planets are moving in their path? Under the Bhagavan Krishna's rule. That is what he said in verse 10. In verse 11, Bhagavan Krishna says, fools cannot recognize me when I dwell in human form. They do not know my limitless nature as the Lord of all beings. In verse 12, Bhagavan Krishna said, Rakshasas and Asuras are those who carry vain hopes vain actions, useless knowledge, and senseless people. In verse 13, Bhagavan Krishna said, Mahatmas are those who are noble hearted, having spiritual inclination, knows Bhagavan Krishna as the imperishable cause, worship him with single pointed mind. In verse 14 and 15, Bhagavan describes different types of worships. In verse 14, Bhagavan says, some glorify me, make necessary efforts with firm commitment, with bhakti, they surrender to me. In verse 15, Bhagavan says, there are others who worship me as one, as distinct, and as manifold. Egatvena prataktvena bhaguta vishwato mukham. Then in verse 16 to verse 19, Bhagavan says, I am the ritual, I am the sacrifice, I am the food that is offered, I am the medicine, I am the mantra, I am the ghee, I am the fire, I am the oblation, I am the father, I am the mother, I am the supporter, I am the grandfather, I am the one to be known, I am the purifier, I am Omkara, I am Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva Vedas. I am the result of all the actions. I am the supporter. I am the Lord. I am the witness. I am the abode. I am the friend. I am the beginning and end. I am the one who sustains everything. I am the imperishable seed. I am the one who gives heat. I withhold and send rain. I am immortal. I am death. I am existence. And I am non-existence also. In effect, Bhagavan Krishna says, I am the creator. And the creations are not different from me. That is why we have to respect everything. None should be disrespected. Give respect and take respect. Whatever you do. That is the idea. It looks like. In verse 20 and 21, Bhagavan Krishna says, those who seek heaven by performing the rituals, gain punya, go to heaven and enjoy the heavenly pleasures. After their punyas are exhausted, they come back to this mortal world. They again fall into samsara. That is cycle of births and deaths, going and coming back. In verse 22, it is a very, very important verse. Bhagavan Krishna gives a promise here. Bhagavan Krishna says, those who worship me with a single pointed mind, without allowing the mind to wander in other thoughts, I secure for them yoga and shema. We have seen what is yoga and what is shema. Yoga is you want something but you don't have at present. That which you want to acquire. That is yoga. Shema is once you have acquired, you want to protect that. That is shema. Bhagavan assures both yoga and shema I will secure for my devotees. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam bhagamyagam. It is a promise by Bhagavan Krishna. Then in verse 23 and 24, in verse 23, Bhagavan Krishna says, even if a person worships other deities, other gods, he is worshipping only me. He does not know this truth because of his ignorance. In verse 24, Bhagavan Krishna says, I am the Lord and recipient or enjoyer of all the rituals. They do not know this because of their ignorance. In verse 25, Bhagavan Krishna says, the universal rule, what you seek, you get it. If you worship devas, you go to Devaloka. If you worship Pitrus, you go to Pitruloka. If you worship Bhutas or spirits, you reach that Loka. Those who worship me, come to me. That is Bhagavan Krishna. In verse 26, Bhagavan says, I can be easily attained. One leaf, one flower, one fruit one drop of water. If anyone offers with love, I wholeheartedly accept that. You don't have to strain yourself. Lavish spending. Don't show your money. Whether you ask yourself, this cannot be proved. How can you prove that I have love towards Krishna? So Bhagavan says, no need. Give me one tulsi leaf, one flower, one fruit, one drop of water, wholeheartedly with love. I will accept it wholeheartedly. That is what Bhagavan Krishna says. In verse 27, Bhagavan Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever sacrifice you do, whatever charity you do, whatever tapas you undertake, do it as an offering to me. In verses 28 and 29, Bhagavan Krishna says, the result of all the actions that may be favorable or unfavorable, desirable or undesirable, happy or sad, the mind gets disturbed or agitated by the results. To get rid of the binding effect of those actions, get detached from the results of actions by surrendering those results to me. This way, you will not be affected by the results. Mind will remain cool and calm. In verse 29, Bhagavan Krishna declares that I am the same in all beings. I love none, I hate none. But those who seek me, they attain me. In verse 30, Bhagavan says, even if a person is the worst scoundrel, he is a Rakshas, thug, whoever it is, you have all the names for him. If he seeks me, the moment he turns his head, turns his heart, he should be considered as a sadhu. In verse 31, Bhagavan explains why that person should be considered as a sadhu. He says, because very quickly he becomes righteous, honest, and adopt the dharmic way of life. He gains absolute peace. Bhagavan here again gives a promise. My devotee will never perish. Shipram bhavadi dharmatma shashvachantim nigacchati kaundeya pradijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Name bhakta pranashyati. Arjuna guarantee my devotee will never perish. That is what Bhagavan is saying. In verse 32 and 33, Bhagavan says, those who had sinful birth, women, Vaishyas, Sudras, and those who had fortunate births, Brahmanas, Rajarishis, having come into this impermanent world with a drop of joy. There is no, you can't say there is no joy at all. There is joy. Asugam, a drop of joy in life. All of them can attain me. That is Bhagavan Krishna. By praying to him, there is no exception. Whoever it is, whether you are a Brahmana, you are a Kshatriya, you are a Vaishya, you are a Shudra, you are a woman, sex, and your mind, intellect, equipment, whichever it is, in whichever form it is. Bhagavan says, no exception. Anybody who seeks me will get me. In verse 34, Bhagavan says, how to worship Bhagavan Krishna. Bhagavan says, the body, mind, and intellect must be offered to Bhagavan. By body, do sacrifice. Prostrate to Bhagavan Krishna. Put namaskar to Bhagavan Krishna. Wholeheartedly. Kill your ego. With the mind, think of nothing else but Bhagavan Krishna. With the intellect, unite your lower self with the higher self. Surrender your ego. Completely destroy it. You can easily reach Bhagavan Krishna. Hari Om, Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Narayana, 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 Narayana.